Hi, it's Kevin from the Ornis website with another video of Ornis Tai Chi here. So we're carrying on, had a bit of a hiatus for this month, doing some workshops out in BC. We'll get into that in a little bit. We're going to be doing moves 52 to 55, so it's a repeat sequence. Going to add in some detail and stuff, so hang in there, we'll be right back. Alright, so had a great time this month doing lots of stuff with other people. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about it because we got quite a few moves in this little sequence here. This is a repeat sequence. We've done these moves before, and this sequence, it's always done in the same manner. So follows the same sequence. But I want to add a little more detail on a couple of these moves for you. But I just want to say I had a great time out on Vancouver Island doing workshops. Did a workshop in the Shuswap area with some wonderful people, a number of different groups all kind of came together. We had a great workshop there and wonderful meeting all of you guys out there. And also too, out in Parksville, again, wonderful group of people out on the island there. They look after me and we have a lot of fun with the workshops. So yeah, and if any of you guys want to have me come out and do a workshop with your group or whatever, just get a hold of us and we'll make some arrangements and see what we can do. Okay, so let's get into this. So we've ended up with doing the 90-degree kick to the left, turning, kicking right, and so now we're going into the sequence of chop with fist, step up, deflect, parry, punch, apparent close up, and crossed hands. So we're going to carry on with that. So we'll take it from the kick right and sort of show you the sequence, and then we're going to break it down and throw in a few details for you. But you already know this sequence, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you. So if we do the 90-degree kick this way, so boom, come around. So the kick with the right foot going this way, going to step down, Pakwa step, chop with fist, step up, deflect, parry, punch, and then apparent close up, and then the crossed hands. So just the same sequence as we've done before. But let's get into some nitty-gritty. So one of the first things is stepping into the chop with fist. So from the kick, getting set up for the chop with fist is something that you want to be able to get lined up right away. So when you kick, your left foot is at 45 degrees and you're kicking straight out 45 degrees from that foot. When you step down, your body's at 45, the hands are in front with the bouquet of flowers, and you're going to Pakwa step in front of the other foot. Now there's a couple ways to go into that. The simplest is when you kick and step down, just put the foot down in front of the other one. But don't change the angle of the body. Common thing is people will kick and then they'll already turn forward. Their arms are off to the side, and now this chop is just sort of flailing the arm. So you want to connect the arm going out with the supporting leg. So the first way to do it is to kick, put the foot down at 45 degrees, going the opposite way. So you're going to turn that foot to the Pakwa so it's out in front of the other foot. Then from there you come up nice and tall here with the fist. So the hands just follow one after the other, and then you turn into that front leg and push out with the left hand. The fist comes back to the hip. So your body does this rotation from 45 degrees with the left foot to 45 degrees over the right foot. So that spirals down into that front leg. The other way of doing it This timing is a little different. It's basically the same thing. The timing's a little different. I'm sorry. When you kick, and then you step with the heel here, and that keeps your body angled. And then as you push from the back leg and the fist comes out, that foot rotates over to the 45 degrees. So this is all going together. And then you'll spiral down into the foot. So sometimes it's simpler for people just to kick and put the foot down at 45 at the pas qua step. A little bit more involved is to kick, step down, and then pivot on the heel to plant the foot. So you can play around with that, see what works for you. Usually when you step down, you're going to be a little further cross in front of the foot. So the pas qua step, at the very least, will be directly in front. So this foot is here, and this foot will be directly in front, a little bit of space in between them. When you do the other version, when you're stepping, you just put the heel down, but it might be a little bit past the other foot over to this side. And then when you turn, when you come and spiral down, this knee will tuck right in behind the other leg. So that when you kick, you step down with the bouquet, and then push, pivot, and then this knee is tucked right in, so it's in tight. This is nice strong connection here. So this back foot is expressing out this, much like a Toyu, except your weight's balanced into the front leg. So that's a move you could spend a whole day working on. So just giving you some ideas to play around with it. So carrying on from there, you're going to kick. However you go into the chop with fist, sit down and express out. So as you spiral down, the fist comes back to the hip, so that hollow spot just on the hip, and the left arm is pushing straight out. Your body is turned now to the right angle to line up with this front foot. As you come up, you keep that turn going. So you spiral down and you come up, and the body just continues to open. And then when you sit down to get into the punch, it still continues to turn and sit into the hip. So you're staying lined up with this foot. Now I'm using a cheater step to keep my balance. But once you get down into that sit, then you can step, and then the fist comes out and the left hand presses down. So we'll smooth it out here a little bit. So you've got the right heel kick, step down, pas qua step and chop with the fist, nice and tall at this point, and then you continue to turn and spiral into the right leg, stand up, turn, so you're lined up to the right angle, keep the turn going to sit into the hip, step, and then push the fist. Push the fist. Does that sound right? Punch. One of the common things that happens with this is when you do the chop, a lot of people just sort of come up and they get themselves straight, and then they just sort of kick the leg out. You want to keep that spiraling action going. So when you turn, you spiral down. So I'm left angle, turn, get to the right 45 degrees, and I keep my body going to the right 45, and I still keep turning into the right 45 to get into my right hip and balanced into the right leg. And when this foot comes out, then I can push from the right leg the fist comes out, that turns me forward, and then I end up square to the front with the fist. Hopefully that's all clear to you, and you guys will be doing wonderful as you practice this. Okay, so when you get into here, one of the things I've had trouble with is if I'm a little tight back in here, it's very hard for me to get back into my hip so that my hip is sitting back, much like we do a Danyu. If this is tight, I have a tendency to kind of push my knee out, and this isn't sitting. So my hip is kind of kicked out to the side, whereas I want my hip to sit down over the leg. So that's something you can pay attention to, is making sure that, and when I first began this, I went for a long period of time pulling my hip back. So when I did my pakwa and I sat down, I would pull my hip back, so my hip is now jutting out instead of sitting down. So if my hip's back here, when I'd come up and I'd try and sit through it, my hip is way out in the air here instead of into the leg. So try and watch that. Make sure that the front, when you're sitting down here, that this is very comfortable. This should be just like a Danyu. Up, and you Danyu down. So you're sitting into the hips. This is not a Danyu. Keep the hips balanced. They turn to 45, but they stay balanced. And then when you go into the next set, same thing. You just do a Danyu. Step, and then do a Toyu. Now, saying that, with the Toyu, when you step through here, you've got your Toyu step. You punch out, deflect parry punch with the brush knee, and then you Toyu back. Push from the front leg, left hand comes up, hand opens, and then you sit back down into your Toyu, your back Danyu. Then you turn the palms, push from the leg, and the arms going forward will just start to turn you forward. Common thing from the punch here, a lot of people just sort of pull themselves back. So again, my hip is kicked out like this, my arms come off to the side. You want to push from the front leg. Push, and that just automatically brings that left hand up. Open the hand, drop the elbows into the sit. Turn the palms forward and go out. So very simple, use the legs. The rest of the body responds to what the legs are doing. So when you push out, the front leg loads, push from that leg, connect, relax down, turn the palms, push out. So the next part is exactly the same thing, is you're going to push. So you've loaded this leg, you've pushed out of the front leg, loaded the back leg, pushed out of the back leg, load the front leg, then you're going to push from the front leg and the arms come up. Going to pivot, pivot, and do a Danyu. And cross, come up, step in. So the key thing with doing the crossed hands after the apparent close-up is when you do the two-handed push. So you're from the punch, up, Danyu, Toyu forward. So you're Danyu'd into the front leg. Now watch, I come up. I haven't started to turn yet. You don't want to sort of turn and swing the arms over. You want to connect the arms with that push. So I'm going to push up, get this open here, and then turn and pivot on the heel. Pivot on the toe so I can sit down and do a Danyu. The timing of the sit can vary depending on what you're working on and how you want to do it. but don't start turning too soon. From here, push up. Get this open. Notice my front leg now is straight, so it's very easy to pivot. This whole thing just turns and pivots all together. So I'm still expressing from that leg, up, expressing from the toe, but now my hips are starting to drop, and then the hands, the elbows just drop. So very simple. Maybe. So, push up. Keep angled forward. Keep lined up with that front foot until you're opened up here, the leg is straight, and then this expression, expression, drop the hips, sit down. Cross. Notice the arms are coming up. The body is coming up before I don't pop out of the sit. Get the body to come up and then connect with that foot. Okay, take notes on this one, lots of detail. Play around with it, break it down, do one move at a time till you kind of get more comfortable with it. Play around with the different ideas. Get your instructor to help you if you're working with an instructor, because they can have some eyeballs on you as you do the moves. Okay, so I guess it's time for some follow along, and I guess we'll do it from this angle. So we're doing the kick that direction, and then we'll do the chop with fist, and then I'll be turning and facing a different direction. Okay, so all ready? So standing on the left leg, we're just about to do the right heel kick after the 90-degree turn around. Okay, so kick right, step down Pakwa, bouquet of flowers, chop out with the fist nice and tall, and then turn to the right as you sit down into the right leg. Push up, keep turn to the right some more as the left leg steps through, and then punch, deflect, parry, punch. Push from the front leg, left hand comes up, open the hand, drop the elbows as you sit into the right leg, and then square to the front as the arms go out. Push from the front leg to come up, get open, pivot on the heel, pivot on the toe, sit down, cross the arms, get the body coming up, and then push from the leg, step in with the right foot, not too close. So when you end up, you should be roughly about shoulder width after you've come up and stepped in. And we talked about that in another video, so you can refer back to that video where we did the cross hands before. So let's do that again. So up, we're going to kick with the right heel. So open, kick, step down bouquet, Pakwa step, chop, sit down, turning to the right, come up, turn to the right as you sit into the hip, step, deflect, parry, punch. Push from the front leg, left hand comes up, apparent close up. Drop elbows, two-handed push. Hands up, fingertips turn inward, pivot around on the heel, pivot on the toe, sit down, cross hands, body's coming up, and step in so the feet are parallel. One more time. Cross hands. So kick, Pakwa, bouquet of flowers. Chop with the fist. Sit down, up. Keep turning to the right to sit into the hips. Step out, deflect, parry, punch. Push from the left leg, up. Drop elbows, sit down. Toe you forward, two-handed push. Push from the left leg, open the body upwards, pivot on the heel, pivot on the toe, drop the hips, sit down, cross, push up, step in, feet parallel. So we got the furnace just kicked in, so you might hear that. Hopefully it's not too loud. So let's do a couple facing this direction. And then, oh yeah, there it comes. Alright, so right heel kick. Pakwa step.
They're
Chop.
such good students. They don't need to listen to you. They could just watch.
Step through. Reflect parry punch. Apparent close up. Push, open, drop elbows. Two-handed push. Relax in the front leg so you can push and open, pivot, pivot, drop the hips, drop the elbows, cross, push up, step in. So one more time. So right heel kick. Pakwa step and bouquet. Chop. Sit down in the front leg. Push up. Turn and sit into the hips. Step and punch. Push from the front leg. Arms relaxed. Drop elbows. Two-handed push. Push up. Open. Pivot. Pivot. Drop the hips. Sit down. Cross. Push up. Okay, lots to play with this time. And so as always, check out the website. Tell all your classmates about it. We've got some stuff we're working on that's going to come up in the next little while. So stay tuned for all of that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to whatever else you need to subscribe to. It's all free. Check out the Facebook. Send us your comments and emails. Love to hear from you guys. So take care. Till next week. See ya.